Oh my, are things heating up in the Atlantic? We now have two systems here that the National Hurricane Center is giving at least a medium chance of developing within 48 hours. Of course, we've been talking about Invest 91L here for the last couple of days, and there's some big news here too, but we also have a second disturbance here, and we're going to be going over both of them, but mostly focusing on 91L today. So here is your update on Invest 91L. So we're in the central tropical Atlantic yet again, and a broad area of low pressure, located about 875 miles east of the Lesser Antilles, is producing a large area of disorganized cloudiness and thunderstorms. Although environmental conditions are only marginally conducive, some gradual development of the system is expected over the next several days, and a tropical depression is likely to form later this week. The disturbance is forecast to move slowly toward the west and then the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour toward the adjacent waters of the northern Leeward Islands. So, the National Hurricane Center is giving this storm system here a 50% chance of formation through 48 hours and an 80% chance of formation through 5 days. Now, our other disturbance here is in the eastern tropical Atlantic, where a tropical wave accompanied by a broad area of low pressure is located near the west coast of Africa. This system is forecast to move offshore during the day, and some gradual development is possible over the next few days while it moves generally westward to west-northwestward. The system could become a short-lived tropical depression over the far eastern Atlantic waters during the next few days. By late this week, the disturbance is forecast to move over cooler waters, and further development is not likely after that time. Regardless, the system could bring locally heavy rainfall to the portions of the Cape Verde Islands by Wednesday. So, formation chance through 48 hours is low at 20%, but through 5 days, the chance is medium at 40%. So, let's start off here. We have current storm information, and we're actually going to be looking at 91L. Just the intensity guidance at the moment. This is the real key of this storm, because the track is starting to become a little bit more consistent across many models. But the intensity here is kind of split in two. We have two distinct possibilities. So, possibility number one is that this storm starts to rapidly intensify right around the next 36 to 48 hours, and we start to see this climbing upwards into a tropical storm, category 1, category 2, maybe even a major hurricane. Now, there are some models that have this exploding after the 3-day mark here. You have this HWFI and the UKXI, both having this as a tropical storm or a tropical depression, and then about 4 days from now, exploding even up to Category 3 strength. Now, the other possibility here is that we see a marginal tropical storm here that slowly develops, and you see that we have another set of models right down here showing just a weak to moderate tropical storm. So this is really where we have to go with this system now. Is this storm going to rapidly intensify or not? Because at this point, it seems like the track is a little clearer. Now, of course, we are still multiple days out, but we're starting to see more consistency, which is a good thing here for the United States. Now, Bermuda is now under the gun for a potential storm making landfall. So, let's just go through here. This is the GFS. And the GFS is a lot more bullish on this storm than you might expect. You can see that this is Friday. We start to see this storm get toward tropical storm force strength. Saturday, Sunday, we see it evolve into a strong tropical storm or a weak hurricane. And eventually here we reach peak intensities, I believe right around here, 955 millibars here. This is Tuesday the 6th. And you can see Bermuda is right here. And the GFS has a storm making landfall in Bermuda before moving out into the sea, maybe even having some impacts there in Newfoundland as it continues to make its way north. But that is a considerable amount of strength that the storm would have. Let's actually try and zoom in here. Oh my, 958 millibars. Let's see those wind speeds. yeah, that is at least a Category 2 hurricane, if not a major hurricane, making landfall in the small island of Bermuda. It might even move just north, which is probably even worse, seeing that eye wall could be sustained over the Bermuda Island for several hours. So at this point, this is starting to be a concerning situation for Bermuda. So we do have to kind of be aware of that and monitor the system, see any slight changes in high pressure location that will start to move this system either north, south, east, or west. Now, preferably we want this storm to move to the east, where it's not impacting Bermuda, but at the same time not impacting the Bahamas or the east coast of the United States. So right now, Bermuda is in for a major hurricane, according to the GFS. Now, the European model, again, we've been calling this the realest of the models, and it does have this storm taking a little bit to start to form. Just a small low-pressure system, really trying to find a grip on things, and really doesn't have this storm really developing over much of a weak tropical storm. So that is another possibility here. Again, we're boom or bust either way. So in terms of intensity, the GFS more lines up with these models. These models have the storm rapidly intensifying and becoming that potentially major hurricane. And the European model is more on the level of the low-end to mid-end tropical storm. So we're really starting to see a big difference between the models in terms of intensity, but the general track here is a little bit more consistent, having this storm headed towards Bermuda. Even the European model has this storm kind of hitting Bermuda, not as an actual tropical system, as a cold front will move through and kind of break up the storm, but the remnants of this storm hitting Bermuda on the European model, and a full-fledged hurricane hitting Bermuda from the GFS. So that's just one system. Now, the other system that we were talking about, both models really don't have forming. The GFS has a storm forming briefly into maybe a tropical depression just off the coast here. So if that does happen, I will make a video on that. But the European model has this storm really just being a tropical wave. Really not much there. Maybe briefly. I don't even think it'll form into a tropical storm, according to the European model. So that's just something where if you see a storm come right off of Africa and form almost immediately, it doesn't happen very often. Usually these storms take much of the main development region to form. So what do you think about these two systems? Comment in the comment section down below what you guys think. But that is all the information that I have for today. If you found this video informative, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell so you don't miss any more weather updates. We are going to continue tracking these storms as well as the rest of hurricane season as much as possible, giving you updates so you can stay ahead of the storm, to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But stay tuned here, more tropical weather updates to come. But that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.